Welcome to TradingLounge and the global indices, starting with the SPY, just to give us a nice clean aerial view of the situation, so to speak. So wave 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 3. We're looking for wave 4 to pull back. So that's completed now, this wave 4. So it's risk on. We'll look for wave 5 to the upside. It should take out the top here, and the 450 or on the S&P, the 4,500 would be the target area there, and then we're going to see another ABC correction before pushing higher at that point. So it does give us, as I've mentioned before, we've had a series of 1s and 2s, and now we're going into 4s and 5s. So it's a different atmosphere, but the impulse wave here should be the money shot. So let's just focus on that. So basically we're looking at wave 3, 4 and 5 here up to the 45, up to the 450 here. Between 400 and 500 here, the trading levels are 1, 2, 3, the Fibonacci numbers 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8, and we're getting support on top of group 1, and this is really significant because and we're testing that support, taking out the top here would confirm that, but there's other subtle ways to do that with volume and other things. But the main point here, getting support on top of number 3, then it severs any pull from this number here. And what happens is that it gets pulled to the 5 at that point. And you can see that in the market depth on smaller scales as well. I mean, these are minor levels, so you can go to sub levels or micro levels. It's just the numbers, so anyway, that's that. Enough yakking. So yeah, coming in from this 3 to 4 here on the S&P, we're on 1,000 ticks here. We were looking for a 38.2% retracement level. The stocks have moved up. When we did the stocks video this morning, we could see that it's all over. So we're basically building an impulse wave up here for that. So there'll be wave 1 here, 2 here, 3, some sort of test on top of probably the 4450 here, and then up to here, and then some sort of ABC correction to come back, maybe testing the tops here. Can come back to the wave 4 of one lesser degree, but where we are in the structure, I don't think so. And then we'll move up again at that point. So that's sort of where we are here. This particular correction here is 1 degree higher than this one here. So technically it should be bigger, but as we know, anything can happen, but it's good to have some sort of perspective on things before the start. So this is our journey here. We're long in most stocks at the moment with this. So this will be 5 waves up here and then 3 waves back. So don't necessarily need to chase this. Let's go from 1,000 ticks to 100 ticks. So this is what it's looking like here. So 3 and 4 here, and we just bring that over here. We don't need to see all of that. We need to see in here. So we'll go in here. And yeah, I could probably rearrange that a little bit, but it doesn't matter too much. The first of all, the 4-4 here, the swing range for that number is group 1 and group 2. So once you know that, it helps you keep your stop out of the way and those sort of things. I'll leave this. We don't even need that now, do we? Why is that there? It's not going to be any chop. So I mean, getting in's not a problem. It's where to put the stop is the problem. So if you take the low here into here, right, and then you understand where the 61.8% is, because that's kind of naturally where it would come back to. So obviously leaving a stop under here at this stage would be the way to go at this point if you were in this trade, because then you've got to think, okay, if we go up to wave 1, and I'll just take it to 4,410 because 1's the strongest number in there, that would still leave the 61.8% here. So if you're going to survive this, then you would need to, if this was going to be wave 1 here and then wave 2 coming back here, it may not pull that far back and probably won't, but you never know. So, if you're going to survive that, then that's the thing here. So if you're long in here, where you should be in these series of 1s and 2s, then you can take some money off the table up here and then wait for that this ABC correction in here. But if you can see 5 waves here, then you can buy back in at that 50-60% retracement level, if it even does come back that far, because sometimes you're sitting there waiting for it and it doesn't doesn't come back that far. I normally find that group 2 here is where it was going to sort of sit into, these tops here, and all of this is going to give the support there, so it may not pull that far back. And the other point here too is that this particular structure here, once it's in here, will be some sort of ABC pattern, probably something like this, and then push up like that. So the next step really is also to build in over here on this, but this is the leg that you really want at this point because this one here will give you clarification in some end of the session now. So this will give you some sort of clarification, and then this will be the ABC pattern here. And this is where you want. I mean, if you go long here, you're going to sort of cop this over here anyway. But if you're long here, take some money off the top, get back in, work it. And really also too, once you can establish that we've had that pullback and the market's moving at that point, there's going to be wave 1 and 2 here again within that space, and that will all be in group 1. So you just have to hold onto your hat. But that's the one that you want, because we want to get up to, we could probably go to 530, but taking the money off at the large number here is what it's all about, and building into the trend here is what it's all about too. So building into the beginning of the trend. So this is what group 1 is for, 1, 2 and 3 here, to build into here. You can add at the midpoint, which will be the 5 at this point, the 50 here, and then there'll be the 8 again at that point, group 2. So between 400, this is what the trade is, between 400 and 500, you want to be building in, through group 1 here, adding on the 50 here, taking some profit of the 80, and then moving out of this number here. But also too, while you're under the level here, under 4.4 here, I always like to get in, if I can get in 2 trades in here, that's nice. And then if I can get, 3 or 4 in here, that's nice. Another one on here just for luck, and then start peeling them off at this point. Okay, enough yakking. The Nasdaq's the same as well. You can see the shape here much better here. We've got wave 1 and 2 here, nice third wave. So there'll be a little 4th here and a 5th here, and then a pullback over here. So once again, this is pretty much somewhere in here. If you can sort of figure out the ABC is really where you want to be moving into. And the other point here too is that once we've got 5 waves here, right, then you can be assured of the next 5 waves. So that's good. If we only get 3 waves here, then it's like, oh, wave 4's gotten rather more complicated. We've got a B wave here at this point. It's not what I'm seeing with stocks. So I've done the stock video. That's why I do it first, because they're the catalyst for what's happening here in this case. But yeah, if you can see these 5 waves here, then you can buy the pullback and just hold on. Same with the Russell as well. We're looking for a correction here. It's got quite deep, but an A and a B and a C wave here. So we can look for 1 and 2 here. So this will just continue to, in its own way, move up above the 19 here. But this pattern at the 19 is a classic trading levels pattern. So we've got the arrival here. Well, they all are actually. So this is here too. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC correction, normally go along above the B wave, but then we try to improve it over here, refine what we're doing. So this particular pattern is this pattern here, of course. Just shaping that up a little bit. Oh well, shaping up. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC pattern, and then we look for entries in, we start from the top and we work down and we get over here, but at the same time we want to get in a couple of trades before this level here. And what we're looking at now with the S&P and Nasdaq and stocks is we're looking at that first 5 waves here and looking to buy this pullback. So we're all over this, trying to figure out how we can get other positions in here. But once that 5 waves is there, that's going to tell you you're going to get another 5. So it's really the market migrating from being resistance to support. And this is where folks lose money in here. But you know better now. So there you go. So that's classic trading levels pattern. So on a bigger scale here, this is the arrival, this is the reaction. So this will be the first high above the level here. and then what will happen up here somewhere, maybe not that high, but we'll get some sort of ABC pattern here for another wave 4, so, and then moving up again at that point. So you've got 5 waves to go here, and the DAX is probably doing the same as well. There's different ways to count this, but I would imagine it would move with the other market, so I would imagine that we'll take some sort of top out here with this, and then have another correction at this point, and then continue to move up. So this is the long trade here with the stop under here for this, and this A, B, and C here. I feel like that's okay at this point in time, you know, but I'll keep an eye on this trend up here for this. But looking for 5 waves in line with the S&P up here is what we're looking for. And the FTSE is in a bit of a different situation. So with the FTSE here, we've got a big A wave down here, a B wave up here, and we've been looking for 5 waves to the downside. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC for 4. Bit of an overlap in here, but we'll take that on the chin. And then we've been searching for this low down here, so we may have wave C in here at this point. It hasn't taken out this low, so that's a bit of an issue for me. But we'll just see how it goes. And I don't have the best impulse wave here. I could work it I understand that. Yesterday we talked about being long above here, about the 7.5. So this little move up here is impulsing. So what will happen up here is we'll have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, some type of little correction here, and then we'll go up again. So you could buy the pullback, but I suggest waiting for the B wave on this one, because it's a bit of a different beast. So if you can get that there, that would be good. I've drawn a pretty picture here, but it may not be that pretty. But you know, this is like this little high here, so to speak. Just trying to find its behavior. Do you know what I mean? So this is why this is it here. So it's had the arrival, the reaction, and ABC correction here, and then it's moved up and taken that top out. You could take the top out on this one here, or in here, but you working that top there is the important point here. So same here, the arrival, the reaction. This is the second most common pattern where it doesn't come back below the level. This is the second most common pattern, so it doesn't come back below the level. But when we start from the top and work down, then we end up just getting, you know, thrown in the water, so to speak, you know. So yeah, so let's see if this is a larger ABC correction, and we'll just see how it goes. There's a few things that can happen here, but we'll have you know, a good few days of uptrend here anyway for this. And then we come over to the Australian market, and this move down here is a bit like the FTSE. We can call it wave 1, or we could call it wave C. If it's going to be wave 1, then it's just going to go back to the box here and then drop at that point, which is possible. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to the upside. I don't have an answer for that. One would think that it would follow the rest of the world to the upside. So it's probably more likely to continue to the upside. In this case, we'll need to put the stop under here for this. Probably even lower would be better, but that's okay. I think I've got a position in this myself, actually. Yeah, anyway, keep the stop under the 1 there. And yeah, let's just go for the ride and see how we do with that. Yesterday we were counting down here to get that low in place, and it's funny how it held up, wasn't it? Because the other markets had to move down, the rest of the world had to move down one more notch, but this one held up. So anyway, that's that. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.